Alright, so this was, God, I think it was round 2 of PMC up against Twisted Misty. I'll link her channel because I'm a nice guy apparently. I fully expected her to bring Charizard X and destroy my team, but she decided not to, so I was like, okay, cool. My only real answer for it was a defensive Gligar that did not even pack Roost. I was packing a defensive Agility Baton Pass set, basically passing out to any one of Tyrantrum, Kyurem, or Pinsir, and basically being able to just destroy her team. I brought especially defensive Kebiaberry Gramble, because I assumed that either Greninja would be there with a Gunk Shot, or Goodra would be there with a Sludge Bomb, so being able to pop both of those straight away would be sick. I had Ferrothorn there, basically. Ferrothorn, the idea was running Sash with rocks so that I could, you know, destroy Charizard on lead, but she didn't bring Charizard, so I was like, okay. So we're just gonna jump in and I'll basically just, you know, let it speak for itself if it's actually gonna do it now for me. Thank you. Alright, so Challenging Misty, she sends out Medicham first, which is like phenomenal for me. It's just a regular Medicham, so even if this was banded, there is no move that can kill my Gramble here, which is absolutely phenomenal. That is good news to hear to start this battle off. She's gonna switch. She has no switch in for Gramble at this stage, and for some reason she goes Greninja. I think it was just a brain fade by her in the end, but Player Off's gonna be able to take that out quite easily. Just huge threat gone. Turn 1, I was like, okay, cool. Things looking good for Pinsir now. Basically, that's about everything. She's gonna go back into Medicham, and I was like, okay. And as you're gonna see, like, I'm especially defensive Gramble. I only have HP investment, but I still eat up that Bullet Punch. That's adamant, pure power. So I'm eating that up and then firing off a Play Rough. I connect again, which is awesome. Down goes Medicham. So life is looking pretty good for us so far. 2 Pokemon down as she now goes into Pride at this Staraptor. I don't really need to sack Gramble here. There's no real point. I'm gonna just play it smart, play it safe. To be fair. Just go into my Gligar. She's going to fire off a Brave Bird, which is, it's not going to do that much. It turns out she was a Intimidate Scarf Strap. It was a really good set. It caught me completely off guard. I expected her to be defensive. As I'm going to take this opportunity to set up a substitute, I know that she's not going to stay in. There's no point for the Staraptor to stay in right now, so I'm just going to proceed to sub up. I expected the Water move here, but I figured that I would be faster, and I'd be able to get off the free Baton Pass. She actually turns out she's running Speed in Azumarill, which I was like, oh, okay. And she goes for Knockoff, I guess trying to knock off the Eviole Lab, but not realising this is behind a sub, she can't do that, so I get a free pass. I make a pretty ordinary play here, which probably could have been better. I decided to try and get my Pinsir kill. This is the only time I brought Pinsir so far to a battle, and I was like, okay, I can get Pinsir. An easy kill here on Mega Evolve, go for the Frustration, and just win. I basically figured at this point, if it wasn't a Scarf Staraptor, this was a Pinsir sweep, because she could break the substitute quite easily, and that'd be fine, but I could go for an SD, and then basically proceed to sweep her entire team, because if that wasn't a Scarfed Staraptor, I'd be at +1 Frustration, +1 Quick Attack, basically just decimates Noivern. I mean, against Noivern, maybe I wouldn't have had a chance, but she didn't send it in like straight up, so I'm going to be able to fire off a +2 Frustration. That's a dead Azumarill, so as I prefer Frustration because with Return it's all about happiness, and that just doesn't work out. It's just smarter running Frustration, guys. Anyway, +1 Frustration would kill the Staraptor, but unfortunately, like I said, she is Choice Scarfed, so she played that phenomenally well. My Pinsir only kept 1 game, 1 kill, 1 death. It's pretty mediocre, but what are you gonna do? At this point I realised that I could just win the game with Tyrantrum because I know that it's Choice Scarfed, so I can just go into this bad boy and basically just start Dragon Dancing up because I realised that the battle's pretty much over now. Azumarill's gone, Greninja's gone. This thing was actually rocking Yache Berry, so I can set up a DD on the Greninja. I have enough speed to actually outspeed normal Greninja after 1 Dragon Dance, which was very nice. Actually, no, I didn't, because normal Greninja was still out of speed. I think it was just because it would allow me to live a Greninja hit and kill it, was the main thing. But as you can see, I'm going to be able to hit one of these Brave Birds, I get up my second DD, and basically everything's over now. Tyler Rex just DDs up and basically sweeps her team, which is awesome. I wasn't feeling super confident going into this match, but definitely the team worked out quite well for me. It it put in a fair bit of work. Didn't have to use that crazy Ferrothorn set, which was fine. For some reason, she thinks Noivern went out speed. If it was Scarf, it would out speed. But it isn't Scarf, so we're going to be able to pick up a kill there with Tyrantrum, which is awesome. Another one bites the dust, which is just fantastic. Which goes in this, and I make a really bad play. I'm just like, oh, you know what, screw it. I'll go for Head Smash for style points, and I miss, because, you know, we can't always have the best things in life, can we? So down goes Tyrantrum, so that was stupid of me. I admit that was pretty stupid of me, but, you know, happens to the best of us. I just go into Kyurem, and then I realise, oh, I should probably go like Cross Chop. Is that going to kill me, because I'm a I'm a minus defense nature, so I was like, oh god, you know, backup plan, let's go back into Gramble and get off a drop, because, you know, at least then this thing isn't going to be a threat, as Cheshire fires off an Earthquake again, so I could have just stayed in with Kyurem, gone for the Earth Power and killed it, but I was just being stupid at this point. I was trying to preserve differential. I should have won this 5-0, but now I'm trying to preserve a 4-0. I go into Gligar. She reveals Thunder Punch, and I realise, okay, I'm just going to stay in this turn of Earthquake, because she's going to over-predict, expecting Kyurem. And I'm just going to fire off the EQ, and basically I would hope that would kill her, but this Electivire 2 weeks in a row has lived only just putting in the work, and I'm just going to double out to Ferrothorn, realising that any hit this thing takes now will kill it with Iron Barbs. That's exactly what happens. She goes for the Fire Punch. Ferrothorn eats that up. Well, it is -1, bear in mind. But thanks to the Iron Barbs, down goes Electivire, so we pick up our second win of the season. We are currently 2-2. So far pretty good. I didn't really battle that great, but I just got a bit lucky at the start. But yeah, definitely go check out Misty's channel. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. On to the next one. Okay. This battle was very annoying. The next two battles you're going to see are very annoying. This one is against Lucky Lad. Again, I'll link in the description. Basically prepared for almost his entire team. I felt that I prepared really well. I kind of underprepared maybe for Sylveon, but yeah, as you're going to see, things, again, just don't really work out exactly how I was hoping they would. I mean, at the end of the day, though, when I look back at these last two battles that I did, I can't be too mad about it. I wouldn't say I was outplayed by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah. I'm going to lead Kyurem, he's going to lead Crobat. So I'm going to switch out with Crobat and go into the Jirachi. I decided to go for Fusion Ball here. I knew he could go into Manectric, but I knew Manectric couldn't really do too much to me, so it wouldn't be a big deal. Plus, I fully expected Jirachi to be able to switch in, and as you can see, I get off a huge amount of damage on that Jirachi. And I realised, turn 3, pretty much, I could trap this thing quite nicely. Done, that's on turn 3. It's turn 2, isn't it? I let Kyurem, he went out for Crobat, yeah, turn 2. I realised I could trap this thing. So I go for the Sucker Punch, it fails because he decides to go for the Stealth Rock, so I'm like, okay, we got him here. Load him into that false sense of security, this is all good. Now, as he goes to withdraw, I'm going to pursuit him. Bang, it connects, and Jirachi, one of the biggest problems, biggest blocks of Kyurem is gone. The only issue is I got up rocks before I went, which I wasn't super big fan of. He goes into Sylveon, and I'm like, okay, this thing is not gonna be, pleasant to deal with. I go into Weezing. I probably should have just sacked Spiritomb, to be fair, but I mean, I just didn't, and it's going to fire off a Hyper Voice, and it's going to do a lot because it turns out that it is Spec Sylveon, so it's just annoying. But I did run a bit of speed in Weezing, so I can get the free Pain Split off. I kind of thought that one through a little bit. It means that I can live another Hyper Voice and weaken the Sylveon, which is nice. I mean, you know, it's nice. We live, which is great, and now we can base it. I was tempted to go for another Pain Split, but I was like, it's not the play. We just go for a Sludge Bomb here. We go for damage, and we get the Poison, which is, you know, it is what it is. The Spec Sylveon's going to be able to Hyper Voice us and blow us back, so that was fun. That I really enjoyed. But Sylveon now is basically to the point where it's pretty much dead, so I'm like, okay, I gotta take the advantage here, and I got him at Emboar. I'm actually running Flame Charge Emboar this week, which was Speed EV to outspeed Jirachi after a Flame Charge. I couldn't Speed EV it enough to outspeed Manectric. I mean, I could have, but I needed the bulk still. I really regret not making it Speed EV Manectric, because if I had, I probably could have won this battle, but each of their own. I couldn't really prepare for these situations. I wasn't sure if he'd bring Manectric to this battle or not, but lo and behold, he did, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. If I had run enough speed, I could have outsped this thing, Flare Blitz's Soul, and that would have been awesome. But unfortunately, that is not going to materialize. He's going to be able to Mega Evolve, get off the Intimidate, which is just fine and dandy. I am an adamant Life Orb Emboar, so basically, I realize that no matter what, whatever he brings in now is going to die. The Volt Switch does do a lot, but I knew that no matter what, I was basically sacrificing Emboar to kill something on his team, and the sacrifice that he chooses is his Crobat, and I was like, oh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. So I was like, bang, that's -1, and he gets burned, which is kind of funny. It didn't, like, the hacks that happened to him didn't really matter, because, like, Sylveon would have died to Flame Charge from there, and as you're gonna see, Crobat being burned really didn't change too much in the course of this battle. I kind of make some weird plays here. I go into Tyrantrum, and I should have just killed the Crobat straight up, but I try and go for Rocks, and he goes to the Taunt, which is fair enough. Like, if I went for DD there, it could have been game over, so I understand why he did that, but I really needed to get those Rocks up, so maybe not using Tyrantrum there as a Rock setter would have been smart. But there wasn't really much I could do about it. I go for EQ here on the off chance he wants to try and Roost with Crobat, because I knew he would die to Brave Bird Recoil, and if he tried to Roost, I could kill him with EQ, so it made the most sense to me. As Crobat is going to go down, and I was like, sweet, this is awesome, happy day. He's going to go for EQ, but it fails. He's going to send out Gourgeist, and I was like, well, I can't set up Stealth Rocks now because I'm taunted. I might as well go for the Head Smash, because I had Chople. I think it was designed for something in particular. It was designed for his. This is my Dimanatan check. He misses Willow, I miss Head Smash, as I do connect the second Head Smash. If I connected that first one plus this one, that would be a dead Gourgeist, but kind of have it our own way. He does get off the Willow, and I was like, damn, that's just not fun. This Gourgeist put in more work than it should have. Like, it already should have been dead. But then again, he should have hit Willow, so I can't really complain. I get out my Rocks because that Kyurem's going to be a problem later. He goes to the Synthesis, which is, you know, fair enough. It's all good. We have ways of dealing with this. Realised that my Tyrantrum wasn't going to be able to do much, so I needed to do a sack at some point. And I was like, okay, I'm either sacking Tyrantrum, or I'm going to sack my Spiritomb, and I'm like, you know what, we're just going to sack Spiritomb. Probably wasn't the smartest play at the time. I definitely could have done this a bit smarter, because the Spiritomb did have Rest on it, so I didn't need to take the Seed Bomb, plus the Shadow Sneak to kill me. I could have, you know, come in, taken that Seed Bomb, and then gone for the Rest, which would have been a much smarter play in the long run, but obviously I am not a smart player. He gets hurt by Rocky Helmet, and this is the turn that really decides the battle. So I did the Calcs, and Kyurem obviously decimates this thing with an Ice Beam. It turns out he was holding a Yachi Berry, and with the damage he had already taken, it was a very, very good roll to kill. And unfortunately, as you are going to see, guys, things do not go well for your boy. Gourgeist lives on 3 HP. 3. And I'm going to take Life Orb, and then Willow Burn, and you're going to see that Willow Burn's going to have a huge role in this battle. It's an extra freaking 28 HP that my Kyurem didn't need to lose at that stage. It just really did. I had to go then into Granbull, which I didn't need to do. You're also going to see the damage that Granbull takes is going to be very, very important to understand. It turns out in the end, in the back, he has a Choice Scarfed Modest Kyurem. Flash Cannon at best did 60%. So just keep that in mind, that, you know, if I had 60% HP, would have been fine. But as you can see, I'm going to go for Heal Bell on this turn as Gourgeist comes in, which is very, very frustrating. This is just very... I didn't want my Granbull getting weakened at all. Granbull was meant to be staying at full health to deal with Manectric if it had to, and then also deal with the stupid Kyurem. But as you can see, my Granbull is going to be at about maybe 80% health by the time I'm done, which is really not where I want him to be. I'm going to go into it's Tyrantrum again, just because I know he's going to Willow and he's switching. This Gourgeist should have been dead. It's just really frustrating when things like that happen, guys. There's not much you can do about it, but it's very frustrating. At the same time, if I was Lum, wouldn't have been a problem, would have been a dead Gourgeist, and the battle could have been a lot different, maybe. I don't know. It's just a lot of variables, but I'm going to be able to get off an EQ here. Take out the Gourgeist finally, but it's just, it put in too much work. It didn't, don't know if it really needed to put in that much work, but it just ended up doing that. frustrating. He's going to go into his Kyurem now. He's going to take the rocks, which is fantastic, being able to get that bit of damage off onto it. I realise there is no point keeping this Tyrantrum, it's not needed as sack fodder, so I'm just going to let it die. Which is the Ice Beam. Now at this point I make a pretty bad play. I'm gonna say it's a bad play. I should have gone into my Kyurem. Instead of going to my Gramble. The reason why I went to my Gramble is because I knew it could handle this, but at the end of the day, Gramble would have been better to handle the Manectric because of how weak my Kyurem was. I knew my Kyurem could take any hit from his Kyurem, and then I could just retaliate and kill him, or the incoming Manectric with an Ice Beam, which would have been great, but yeah, I just make a really bad play and go into Gramble. It wasn't my smartest play. I'm going to be able to get a player off here. As you're going to see, it does a decent amount, not that great at all in this situation. As you're going to see, the damage it took with Kyurem is going to come into a factor here from that burn. Remember that I should have had 28 more HP when I come in here, so Kyurem's going to come in at 97, drop down to 41, and I mean, it didn't really matter too much. He's going to go for the Magnet Rise, though. This is why it matters, because he goes for Magnet Rise. If I had more HP, I could have lived a Flamethrower from this Manectric, and with that I could have gone for a max special attack Life Orb Ice Beam, which would have killed the Kyurem from half, or it would have just killed the Manectric straight up there. And because of that, as you can see, Gramble is going to come back in at about 70%, so because of that I would have been able to live a hit from Kyurem, even if it was the modest max damage. Instead, that's not going to happen. He's going to go for the Flamethrower here. I'm not intimidated, so there's still a chance, but not if I miss player off. So that basically just sealed the deal. If I had hit that player off, I was sitting at almost half HP, so maybe I had a chance to live the Kyurem Ice Beam, but unfortunately, guys, it didn't go my way. I get burned here too, so it's just a lot of unfortunate events that transpired, and obviously now the Manectric's not going to die, and it's just very, very frustrating when there was just certain plays that happened that didn't go my way. But you know what, I can't be too mad. I wouldn't necessarily play badly. I played exactly how I wanted to play. It's just rolls, guys. I can't really control rolls in the way that they work, so hats off to Lucky. He goes to 3-0 now. I'm chilling at 2-1. Hopefully we can bounce back next week. Alright, and to finish getting you up to date, this is my round 4 match against Cloud of the Jersey Dwevils. I wasn't very happy with my team. My Jenna messed up my Heliolisk. I wanted a hasty natured Heliolisk with a quick attack, with a Life Orb, because I wanted to be able to get damage on the Beedrill before I went, and, you know, I also wanted, I think, an Adamant Tyrantrum, and didn't get an Adamant Tyrantrum. I got a Jolly Tyrantrum, and that's going to matter too, but, you know, I can't be mad. I can't be mad. It was my own fault for probably not making it clear or asking him to redo it. I was like, Cloud just wants to battle, so I just did it. I'm running an offensive Emboar, a physically defensive Rocky Helmet Gramble, 3 attack Roost Kyurem with HP Fire for Fortress, Analytic Starmie. It turned out to be a Choice Specs Heliolisk because the one he sent me was Lonely Natured and I just couldn't be fast enough, so I needed Timid. And the only Timid one I had was a Choice Specs one, so I was like, fine, we're going to go with it. And then in the back I had Wide Lens Tyrantrum because I didn't want to miss my Head Smash this time around. So yeah, let's jump in and we'll just watch the magic unfold. I don't know what's up with me, guys. These last few battles have been very, very off my game. I don't know why. I don't know what I did to be off my game. Turn 1 goes amazingly. He turns out to be a Scarfed Heatran. His only way of possibly dealing with my Mega Pinsir, which I didn't even think about bringing because he had so many threats, but I'm just going to fire off an EQ. And it's a Sayonara Mr. Heatran. So that turn 1 went pretty darn well. I'm actually Evo Emboar now, remembering my set. He's going to go into good old Gardevoir, and I'm like, okay, this is a thing, this is a problem, but I figure he's going to go for the Psyshock, so I'm like, well, I've got a Starmie. I've got a Assault Vest Starmie, which is hilarious. But he goes to the Moonblast, and as it turns out, that 125 special attack hurts, but I do outspeed, and so obviously Hydro Pump's going to hurt anything that switches in if he tries to switch out, which it does, which I was like, awesome, something's dead. And it turned out to be a Zapdos because this is an analytic, modest Hydro Pump from Starmie, I believe. I don't know if I was timid. but still, its Analytic Hydro does so much. I can follow that up with an Ice Beam, and that is a dead Zapdos, which was cool. Like, I had 2 of his Pokemon down right off the bat. Things were looking great for me at this stage. Goes into Beedrill. This guy was a game changer. I didn't really have too much for Beedrill on my team. Like, my best check was Gligar, and looking back on it now, I'm still not sure why I didn't bring Gligar. It was by far my best Beedrill check, and I didn't bring it. And this is the moveset he brought. Mega Beedrill was weird, guys. It was weird. He had Pursuit. I don't know why. I don't know why he wouldn't run Knockoff. Like, without Knockoff, if he didn't have Knockoff, he had no way to touch Gligar, and that was a really frustrating part of this battle. We're going to go into Tylerex now, and this is where I lose the game, pretty much. I go for freaking Head Smash because I'm like, you know what, I'm jolly, it's still going to do a lot, and he goes into his Swampert. It turns out he's not really a defensive Swampert, it's more of a bulky set. I'm going to land my Head Smash because Wide Lens is a thing. As you can see, it does like a decent amount, and from there I'm like, okay, Outrage should kill, right? Outrage did have a good chance to kill. It was like 68 to 78% chance to kill. And once again, my opponent lives barely. I don't know, guys. I don't know what to tell you. And now he gets a free switch out to his Fortress, and I was like, okay, this is kind of bad. This is kind of bad. I can go for the Outrage though, and it's okay. I can get off a bit of damage, but this does 0 because I'm freaking jolly. And of course, I don't get 2 turns of Outrage. I get 3. The one time you don't want 3 turns of Outrage, it happens. Meaning I die to Rocky Helmet, and he gets free rocks. So I was like, cool. Okay, thanks Fortress. So I was like, great, I gotta choose basically someone to come in that scares Fortress. I was really wanting to go into Heliolisk, but I was like, if it goes to Swampert, it's just a waste of a turn, I have no switch in. My only play was going into Emboar and saying, look, I'm gonna sack Emboar to something here, I'm just gonna click Flare Blitz. He decides to sack Fortress, which is, you know, it is what it is. It was just very frustrating. This battle was very frustrating. I just played Tyrantrum badly. I don't know why I didn't bring Gligar. I don't know why. Gligar was the Beedrill check. All day, every day. Resisted both of its stabs. It was just... I don't know if it resisted poison, but still. Goes into Beedrill here, and I was like, okay, this is good. We can work with this. We can work with this. But I didn't bring a Fusion Bolt, and that was the big kicker here. As he's just protected, I'm like, well, alright, that's fine. But the fact that he didn't bring... Fusion Bolt was going to bite me in the butt. I think I had Earth Power, Ice Beam, Hidden Power, Fire, and Roost on this set to kind of counter that Zapdos. Speedra is going to go for the U-turn. It's going to do an absolute ton because adaptability is a bitch. And I don't have Rocks up. Rocks would have been fantastic in this battle. Probably would have won me the battle if I got them up with Tyrantrum if I had them, but I didn't have them. This Gardevoir is going to come in, and you're about to see that Ice Beam is going to do nothing. It's going to do literally 0 to this Gardevoir. That's just metric 0. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna lose my Kyurem right now. It's just gonna happen, and I'm gonna be okay with it. I do outspeed, and I was like, oh, you know, if I can get a freeze, or a crit, that'd be nice, but I don't get any hacks, guys. In the entirety of the PMC, I've never had anything in my favor, so that's fine. I've learned to live with that. We're 2 and 2 because of that, so it's whatever. Spoilers, yeah, we do get 2 and 2 because Heliolisk does come in. I obviously outspeed because I am a Heliolisk. I am Randy Orton. I could Quick Attack here for style points, but I'm like, I'm a spec set because the Quick Attack set that they gave me was not the right one. Would not have helped me. And that's annoying. He goes into this. If I was Scarfed, we could have won, but I didn't. Again, I just didn't think about speed. It's something I did in another battle I was doing, and also I didn't realise how good bulky Bull Dempsey was going to be, as you get to see after getting the -1 here on Little Stabby, Poison Jab ain't going to kill me. And I was like, damn, if I'd known this earlier, I could have got off an Earthquake, and that might have put him in range of my Quick Attack, because it would have taken him 2 hits to kill me, 2 turns of Rocky Helmet, and after Quick Attack, chance, then all that was left was this Swampert, which obviously had Quick Attack as well. It had Sludge Wave for the Gramble, so I needed Heliolisk. If this was a Scarf Heliolisk, this battle was over. Unfortunately, it isn't, and I was hoping I could live a Poison Jab. It wasn't a roll, to be fair. It was only a roll if he was, like, not enough attack, but he was obviously max attack, which is, you know, it is what it is, and we end up losing 2-0 back-to-back times, so we are currently 2-2. Fortunately, we have a +5 differential, which still puts us pretty high in the standings because everybody else in the blue conference is struggling as well. The best placed person is only 1 win ahead of me. If they end up losing, then if we can win our next match against J-Specs, we are basically right with them still. So that's the aim for us right now, is to get a win, under our belts and hope for the best. But yeah, 2-2 right now, which isn't too bad. Obviously, we can definitely build on it. We're equal with Sharpino, who's in our Division 2, but we are ahead of him on differential, so we just got to keep that going. Hopefully we can.